Eisel used to get her work done as an occupational nurse for Allegiant Health by rolling back and forth on her chair. At 300+ pounds, her life was working, eating, and sleeping. Then, in 2009, her worsening health forced her to make a drastic change.
And I had the surgery, I said September 25th. Dr. Thomas White did a Roux-en-Y bypass for me. And I've just been amazing ever since.
Marie has lost 125 pounds, and her blood pressure and cholesterol are now well under control. She uses her newfound wellness to help others as an Allegiant Health weight management ambassador.
It's just been a wonderful experience to be able to share of everything that I've been through. And the fact that I'm a registered nurse makes a big difference because I can add some components that, may not be available to other people.
In 2007, Mary Schwoerer was in a wellness program at the Creighton University Medical Center. By earning 100 points, she would lower her healthcare premium. The first activity she completed was a health screening. It would yield some unexpected results.
And then in January, went for the mammogram and they found breast cancer.
The diagnosis and subsequent treatment would serve to get her involved in promoting the many benefits of the program that saved her life.
Our wellness program has really taken off. We have a lot more people participating, getting to the 100 points, and being active members of all of the events that we put out there for them.
At 13 years old, Anthony Bull weighed 225 pounds with a 44-inch waist. After many failed diets, a simple program took hold and transformed his life.
It really was just a lower calorie program. It was pre-packaged food, and the size of the packages were just smaller. That's really all it was. Less calories, probably less fat, but smaller portions.
When it came to choosing a new career following a short stint as an accountant, Anthony drew inspiration from his healthy lifestyle.
I actually found a textbook. The title was Exercise Physiology, Exercise, Nutrition, and Performance. And I thought, three of my favorite things right there. How could I go wrong?
As an associate professor of exercise science at Creighton University, he continues to channel these passions into research on the root causes of obesity.
At one time, they called me the abs queen because I could do abs, outdo the guys even.
Marge Richmond has been outdoing most of us for over 75 years. She started exercising at 9 years old, finding inspiration in Family Circle magazine.
And in the Family Circle magazine was always a picture of a girl or a lady exercising, and it would tell you how to exercise.
These days, Marge is the one telling others how to exercise, providing both motivation and inspiration as a Silver Sneakers instructor for the YMCA.
Everybody feel worked out?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Pete and Patricia Willitson used to be couch potatoes. Pete had been struggling with weight loss until a new program at work changed everything.
So we started the FAST program that Mutual brought to our attention, and that was working very well for both of us.
So well, the couple has now lost over 130 pounds. By exercising together, whether it's walking at lunch or trying new activities like wakeboarding, Pete and Patricia have changed their lives for the better.
As a couple, it's helped us, get closer. Working on this, I really think that I've been more successful because he's been on the program, and I think vice versa for him also.
Judy Martin, who works at OPPD, has always been a good dieter. A wedding or class reunion would be all the motivation she'd need to lose a few pounds. But following the loss of her husband, sadness and isolation sent her on a downward spiral. Her doctor gave her an ultimatum.
And the doctor said, she says, Judy, you continue what you're doing with this eating, not exercising, not dealing with this grief, not changing your life, and you're not going to be alive. And it's up to you to make the decision whether you want to live or you want to die.
Her doctor suggested working with a personal trainer. It is that relationship that has made all the difference.
What was great about Keith is that he didn't laugh at me when I couldn't get up off the floor. And he's been there listening to me talk about my husband. And he's just been a really good friend.
Cindy Christensen doesn't mind being called Biggest Loser. Joining a Biggest Loser weight loss team at work has put her on the path of healthy living.
There were 5 of us. I lost the most weight of all 5 of us, and our team did not win, but that was great. It started me. It started my routine.
With that routine, Cindy has lost 65 pounds and is no longer taking her diabetes or cholesterol medications.
My biggest thing is my grandson can now put his arms around me. He was never able to do that.
If you're in Melinda Corrigan's workout group at the Sarpy County YMCA, a phone call or email from her might mean you are in trouble.
So we're accountable for each other, and if they're not there one time, we're like, where were you? You weren't here.
Tired of feeling yucky about herself, both inside and out, and inspired by a fellow coworker, she started a kickboxing routine that led to daily exercise and better eating habits for her and her family. So much so, her kids are now surprising her with their healthy choices.
For Christmas one year, they asked for yogurt and carrots in their stockings. So that's when I knew, I'm like, I am on the right track, because my kids are asking for yogurt and carrots in their stockings.
Larry Linfor, a security officer for the University of Nebraska Medical Center, knew he was out of shape. It was his kids that inspired him to get back into shape.
A couple years ago when I went on vacation out to see my kids, I was 230, 235, out of shape. And for most of the marriage anyway, I'd been in decent shape, and the kids, they didn't say anything, but they kind of looked at me like, what happened, Dad? And you don't want to look bad in front of your kids.
So Larry joined the Center for Healthy Living at UNMC, and 70 pounds lighter, he is now running 6 to 7 miles a day. His advice for someone looking to follow in his footsteps is simple.
Just do it. I mean, the hardest step is the first step. After that, it gets easier. You just got to believe that you can do it and just go do it.
Following a layoff for Bret Lynn, he and his wife Kathy decided they needed to go to boot camp, not to get themselves in shape, but to get their finances in shape.
It was a wise choice to get involved with Sean and Waddell and Reed when we did, because we recognized the need that we needed to be prepared should that happen again.
Due to downsizing, Bret was laid off a second time, only now they had the tools to cope.
And how it is part of your overall wellness, because when you are so focused on trying to make ends meet and hoping that you can make the mortgage payment, how can you think about your physical wellness? How can you think about your spiritual, your emotional, all of those aspects of wellness? And I think that was the one piece of the pie that we were kind of missing, is that once we can focus on that, then you can focus on all those other aspects of wellness.
Ron Lesueur, a computer programmer for Union Pacific Railroad, has always led an active lifestyle. But being an avid cyclist wasn't enough to keep his weight from fluctuating. He felt the diet programs he was trying were missing something. That is, until he started the Families Always Succeed Together program.
It's not rocket science. It's actually a lot of things that you hear people tell you to do. All the experts tell you to do this, don't do that, and it's basically the same thing, except the difference is accountability. Doing everything and being accountable to do it, and it really works.
Ron and his wife Tricia have both lost weight and increased their stamina thanks to better portion control and healthier food preparation. Unfortunately, Ron says, not all benefits are completely positive.
Well, one of the bad things about it, if you want to call it that, is you have to buy all these new clothes.
By looking at the goals of this team, it is easy to see that Dr. Chris Berg, Dr. Daniel Blanke, Dr. David Corbin, Dr. John Noble, and Joseph Kaminsky are leading the University of Nebraska at Omaha down the path of health and wellness.
Well, our goal is that the wellness program for the university is successful, that we're able to impact the students, faculty, and staff, make sure that their health and well-being is improved through the programs that we can offer them.
The recent renovation of the health, physical education, and recreation building ensures both the physical well-being of faculty and students and the financial future of the university itself.
One of the reasons to build or to expand a recreation facility on a campus is to attract students.
UNO students and faculty now have an excellent place to work out and relax thanks to the efforts of this team. Nancy Wallace, Vice President of Human Resources for Allegiant Health, doesn't think healthy living should be a fad.
It's really got to be a way of life, and I think it's so easy to get into a weight management program and do really well and then fall back, and that's what we've seen happen, and that's where I've challenged our wellness organization here to really look at how can we instill those behaviors as permanent behavior changes, because that's really what it's all about.
Rather than holding one-time events, Nancy believes creating permanent initiatives is the best path to a culture of wellness. As a healthcare provider, her wellness goal for Allegiant is to be the healthiest organization in Nebraska.
We are the largest employer in the state of Nebraska, and we are the largest healthcare employer, and there's no excuses for us. And that's kind of my passion around our future.
Father John Schlegel has been an advocate for healthy living his entire career. His fight against the sedentary lifestyle of the average Creighton University underclassman begins with an all-encompassing approach.
One of the jumping off points for Creighton's wellness program is the Jesuit concept of cura personalis, which is care for the entire person, body, spirit, mental development, etc.
Whether he's playing racquetball or working out in the gym, Father Schlegel has included exercise in his daily routine for over 40 years.
And it's a very important part of my day. I do spiritual exercises, and I do physical exercises, and I do mental exercises in any given day. I tend to begin with the physical one because I think it really enhances the other two.
Glen Fosdick believes in a preventative approach to health and well-being at the Nebraska Medical Center. Their early detection program, called Simply Well, helps employees identify prediabetes and high blood pressure symptoms.
This gives us the ability to address these issues on the front end and correct them when it's far more successful and far less expensive.
The proactive nature of this program and its effect on healthcare costs was something Glen shared at a healthcare reform hearing in front of the U.S. House of Representatives in 2009.
And we know that every year in Simply Well, the difference in cost for participants versus non-participants is somewhere between $500 and $1,000 per participant. I mean, it's very, very substantial.